Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, I guess good evening would apply here since most of the audience is going to be in Europe. But for my case and for my lovely co-caster and producer's case, it's a good afternoon. Welcome back to Fireside Cast. I am Eki in the booth with Sayo on production and on the co-cast. We've got the 1v1 MGE.TF World Championship coming at you right now. It's the European qualifier for the championship. Winner gets an all expenses paid trip to the World Championship LAN in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that is going to be something very, very awesome. Very sick to look forward to. So they've got something to compete. They've got things under their belt. I think one of the players coming into this game, our matchup, X versus Hugee. I believe X won the Russian qualifier in Sayo.
Yes.
This is not you in your picture.
I know it's not
This
me.
is not you.
Well, actually, it is me if you want to imply it's me.
This is my great friend. This is my great friend Benpel. Come on now. This is not you.
I had to steal an identity, you know. I didn't have a profile photo, so we had to rock with this for now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, many such cases. Many such cases. I wonder if he still ate the what did he say he was gonna eat? The boot or like a shoe or something?
Yeah.
Like what did he say?
He said he was supposed to eat some kind of boot, but I don't know. He hasn't really lived up to those expectations, so I guess
I know a guy who can grill it and make it somewhat tolerable. I know a guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, X won the qualifier, Russian qualifier versus Ty. Or I don't know how to fully pronounce his name, so my apologies for that. But it's gonna be a good time, I would assume. Windows and notification. I think we should be getting ready. There's some new maps though for this MGE championship that the admins have made for us. So we got X versus Hugee. So I guess it's the number 1 seed versus the number 8 seed, but really, all things considered, there is no real seeding in this tournament. Everybody's got similar skill levels, but obviously there are some undisputed bests, and I think everybody wants to see X and how he'll perform in this event.
Yeah, I've got high hopes for X here, knowing that they've won the Russian qualifier. I don't really know much about anybody else coming into this tournament, really. I have not kept up with the MGE scene, so to speak. So hopefully we have some good matches ahead of us as I frantically click through the spectator cameras to get onto somebody. There we go, finally. But I
think we're going
live. I think we're going live right now. It's going to be a scout versus a soldier duel on Arena Node 1v1 here. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Scout versus Soldier really does not tend to bode well for the Scout player unless they can get themselves some early height, but in the case of X here, they've got the shotgun going for them, so they should be able to mop it up even if they go onto the high ground. They'll just take the hit scan, hit scan fight, and that's what we're seeing happen right now. Nice upward direct to juggle up Hugee there, so early on, getting a 4-1 lead, now 5-1. Putting up a strong start.
Yeah, this is a pretty weird map because obviously it's kind of reminiscent of like what is it, the jungle ulti-duo map. So you pretty much have the advantage if you're the soldier. But obviously there is the stairwells that actually give the scout the ability to close the distance by jumping up and hopefully taking control of the spire. But nice upward direct from X makes it 7-2, and this is actually looking pretty good for X. You know, this guy is one of the favorites. Obviously, you know, barring any international visa issues, we'd love to see this guy on land because he is one of the touted best MGEers from the European scene.
I mean, he's putting that on full display right now. 10-3, up now by 8 as he gets his 11th pick of the game. Now 12th. Trying to put up as big a lead as possible, make it as difficult as possible for Hugee to even mount some kind of comeback. And they're playing this very well, constantly maneuvering between the different spots of height that he can control. Now, granted, there's not too much, but there is quite a bit that he's able to get to. Now, Hugee does find a nice pick there, making X take himself out with a rocket, but he immediately claims that kill back. It's another 10-point lead up above Hugee here. Up at 16-5. He's putting on a clinic here. I mean, Hugee has gotten some good picks here, but the way it's going right about now, it looks like X probably going to win this map, and most likely will win out the series, because if I am not mistaken, all of these maps will be played as a best of 3 on the map, and then we have a best of 3 on the series. So you have 3 maps where 3 rounds each are played on the map.
That is correct. That is correct.
From my understanding.
So it's technically like a, it could go like all 9 games in a single series, but X is not showing any signs of him wanting to go the distance here. He wants to finish it quick and clean, because he's just doing this soldier rocket 1-2 combo, the quick swap onto the rockets to the shotgun, and he's just making a meal out of Hugee. Honestly, it's kind of making you question, do you really want to keep playing Scout on this map? But obviously we don't know Hugee's skill set versus X. X is just a beast though right now as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, putting up great numbers here, 6-1. Stronger start than the previous map. I think got cut down early, 4-1. So, being able to get yourself an early start where you have that much of a lead is going to be very, very strong.
Ooh.
Now 8-2. Oh my goodness.
Dude, this guy is just blowing him out of the sky. It's literal duck hunt here. Just shooting Hugee before he can even get his feet on the ground. It's honestly just so hard here for Hugee to close the distance, because really the Scout's potency is being able to close the distance and being able to dodge and weave around the soldier. But when the soldier has the ability to switch to a hit scan with the shotgun, it's kind of hard to, because you got to dodge the rocket, then you got to hope that he doesn't flick and hit you for 100 at the minimum.
I wonder if this is a case where you kind of have to consider swapping your class. I don't know what the rulings are for MGE.TF on whether or not you're able to swap your class mid-game, but I imagine you would be able to. I imagine it just gives the point to the other team, or to the other player, I should say.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I would imagine that you would probably want to swap off a Scout at this point. You'd want to mirror the soldier matchup, which sounds boring, I know, but that is kind of how this match is turning into. It's 18-5 right now. If Hugee does not claw their way back from this, they got one more life to do so. They lose this map, and they'll have to move on to the next one. Actually, I think so.
Yeah. That is map 1. That is Node going the way of X, and pretty straightforward. You know, straight up, beat up, I guess so to say. Nothing really to I guess, say about X. It's just more so Hugee is just like getting outclassed in terms of individual skill. But obviously, you got to question in a 1v1 where the soldier not only has the rockets but also the shotgun. You kind of wonder if it was just purely projectile versus scattergun, then would that have turned out differently? But never mind. We can't reminisce about the past. We got to move on to the future, because we are on to the next map, which is Silo.
Yeah, and this is another interesting matchup. Demo v Soldier going to be the class picks for this game. And this is another one that feels a little bit awkward, because you sacrifice your hit scan for double projectiles. And I think you were closer to being right when you were on Scout than you are closer to being right with you on Demo. You're sacrificing the ability to do... You're sacrificing the ability to do sustainable hit scan damage for projectiles. And while you can, if you do hit the projectiles, you can do great damage. You've also got a guy jumping into you at, say, Mach 7 half the time, constantly landing on top of you, and has the sustainability of long-range hit scan damage, or even just being up in your face can do that hit scan damage. So it definitely is a closer match with Hugee on Demo than on Scout, but we'll have to see how this one goes, because it's already 10-4, and we just got here, 10-5. Hugee mops up a sticky pick, but immediately reclaimed by X here.
Well, as you can see, Hugee is just starting off by trying to do some area denial from, like, you know, just pre-aiming that sticky to deny X the ability to close the distance, because once you let X get up close, he can just quick switch to the shotgun and just hit you for 100. So it's really hard for Hugee. He has to hope that he can just land the sticky right and hope that X does not close the distance just like that. You see, like, he just airstrikes the sticky into Huge and just cleans him up pretty quickly. But Huge is actually making it a lot closer compared to map 1, where on Scout, you know, he was just not able to get close enough to X and get the kills. But now he has a little more weapons at his disposal. But unfortunately, the Katana will not allow him to avoid getting cut down right around the corner from X.
Yeah, it really looks like Huge is not having the best of times right now, but it is double digits across the board, 15-10, should be 16-10 now, as X is able to mop up another kill, 16-11 here. Huge is keeping it within 5, which is more than we could say for the Scout performance. What a pipe, but unfortunately can't close it out. Down by 6, 17-11 for X here in favor of X. Now goes down. I guess too low. Tried to go for the Minecraft. Nice air pipe to send X into the floor. Good mop up a pick here. If you play it properly, you should use your stickies here, and that's exactly what happens. They get another pick within 4. Oh my goodness! Huge is locked in. He's here, and he's here to stay. He does not want to go anywhere. He wants that trip to Philadelphia. He wants that trip to Pennsylvania. But unfortunately, that first round does not go their way. X does claim it. But they brought it pretty close.
You know, I'm liking it, though. You got to switch things up when you got to have a backup plan when things go awry with your original plan. And I think Huge has found, you know, the blueprint to at least bring it back against X. But it's a matter of whether he's a day late and $1 short. Because right now he is down a map and he's down 2-0 in this, you know, this series point round against X.
Yeah, and this is where it all kind of boils down to. If X wins this, he wins the series. He wins all the maps, he wins all the games, and you lose in a shutout. And I honestly, you know, this might just be me speaking. I don't want to lose in a shutout. I want to at least put up 1 round bare minimum if I'm going to end up losing. And Huge right now is not off to a great start. Down 7 has nothing to show for it. Now down 8 still has nothing to show for it. Getting some decent damage, but no picks. But Caster's Curse for X there, right there, as Huge is able to mop up that pick, but it's immediately claimed back by X. The shotgun, like I'm talking about earlier, that hit scan comes in way more clutch than I feel like a lot of people give it credit for. And right now, wow, that's actually crazy that Huge lives there, I'm going to be honest. What a pipe! Oh my goodness!
It's all for style points, though. There's nothing to show for it, because if you can hit the pipes, you can't get the kills. As a matter of fact, you know, he makes me eat my words, but he's still down quite the deficit, Hugee.
Yeah, I mean, you are still in a very bad spot here. You're down 10. You're looking to claw your way back into the fight. Now down 11. You do not have a lot of things going for you here. And we see that again with X strafing the air stickies into Huge to get in his face and force him to either potentially take himself out or do so much damage that it won't matter in the next life. X is able to get an easy free kill just based off the way that health works in MGE and can claw their way back in. Now, the double air sticky does make that a little bit rough. 2 HP, you're fighting a Debo that's playing around the corner. That's just a given. But it's 18-7 here, down 11 still, now down 1. This is the final blow, the coup de grace, if you will, and it looks like X will deliver a blowout, a shutout. Not a perfect game, but it is a blowout shutout nonetheless. Wins it in just 2 maps and 4 rounds. Probably the fastest we will see throughout the night.
Man, it's really these new MGE maps that, you know, the people at MGE.TF have been able to make for us. It kind of shows you how much it's eliminated the potency of Scout to, you know, bob and weave around the map, especially against the soldier class. You can see how it happened in that first map. He was just getting absolutely shut out by X, having to resort to switching to the demo man there for that second map, which worked to some degree at first, but then once X started rolling, he never kept stopping. So, man, it's kind of rough, but it's kind of showing that these maps made by the MGE.TF people, from like a quick analysis standpoint, it's really making Scout less effective. And I kind of wonder, like, because we have, I guess, Silo, well, you just saw Silo being played out. Now we have Node. There's Badlands mid that was supposed to be played on this. Had we had gone to a third map, I kind of wonder, you know, do these teams like opting to going for these MGE custom maps, or will they go for the tried and true MGE cookie cutter arenas? So
I feel like probably going for the tried and true, the cookie cutter, might give a little bit more, I guess, familiarity. You feel a little bit more comfortable. You'll feel a little bit more at peace, I guess you could say, and just feel a little bit more confident in your abilities. But also, I feel like if the map is determining your comfortability and ability to play, maybe there's different things happening there. But I mean, the tried and true are the tried and true for a reason. They're good, they're comfy, they're homey. You know, that's where everybody plays MGE. Everybody starts playing MGE on Badlands Middle, Badlands Spire. You know, that's just where everybody starts playing MGE. And I'm interested to see, like you said, whether we're going to be having more of the custom MGE.TF maps, or are we going to be having the tried and trues? Because I think we're going to be having a lot of Badlands. I think that is. I think that's just a given. We're going to be having a lot of Badlands. Probably more Spire. Well, no, I think we're going to have more mid than we will have Badlands Spire. But beyond that, I don't really imagine any of the other cookie cutter maps. Maybe product mid, I could see happening. But beyond that, I don't imagine anything else really coming out of the tried and true maps.
well, we have our next matchup on the table for us. It's gonna be Spud versus Thunder, the battle of the guys with numbers in their names. No, I'm just kidding. Just just something I noticed when I was writing down the matchups for today. It's looking like we got some old names here. I think Spud, like, I don't know if that's the Finnish European player. That's a pretty old name if you know ETF2L ball, but Thunder, also another known MGE lord. But we got our maps here. We got, we're going back to the same ones. I guess they're playing the same I wasn't really briefed too much on what maps were being played for this tournament, but it looks like we're going with the same maps again. Got to keep it a fair playing field, because obviously once they have the opportunity, the right to play in North America, then they can choose the maps they want to play. We're just going back to our cookie cutter maps that we saw in the first match: Node, Silo, Badlands, Middle. It's going to be Spud versus Thunder, though, Eki. Not too knowledgeable in some of the names. Obviously, I know the names, but don't know too much about their history other than they're MGE lords. Spud, old ETF2L player that I know of, hasn't played in quite a while as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah.
I mean, haven't played in a little while, but if ever there was a time to come back, it would be when an all expenses paid trip to Philadelphia is on the line to participate in a massive MGE tournament land. So I'm excited to see what's going to be happening here between Spud and Thunder. I don't know any of the names, of course. I am not familiar with ETF2L ball, but I would like to get more familiar. I am not a ball knower, unfortunately. Now, if we were talking actual ball, then maybe I would know, depending on the ball. But that's neither here nor there. This isn't real ball. This is MGE. This is ETF2L ball, and I don't know really anything. I don't know much about. I don't really know much about ETF2L. I would like to know more, but I just don't know many Europeans.
Look,
so
as long as we cast a good game, that's all that matters. And I think the players are getting ready to go into the arena right now. We got Spud versus Thunder here on Silo, but I think we're going back. We're going back to Scout versus Soldier here again, Eki. And who knows, maybe it might play the same way, but Thunder is off to a lightning quick start.
Yeah, I mean, living up to the name, just delivering pain here towards Spud here. I mean, this is just brutal, as already starting off with a 5-0 lead, not even playing the high ground here, waddling on the low ground. The Waddle Warriors have risen in the form of Thunder, and it's 7-0 off rip. Could potentially have a pick here in favor of Spud, and that's exactly what will happen. But now we've got Thunder on the high ground, drops down to take the face fight, taking the fight with the hit scan, not really using those rockets as much as we saw the previous matchup go with X using the rockets a bit more. But it looks like the hit scan going to be a little bit more the favored weapon of choice for Thunder here. 10-2, now 10-3, loses that fight.
Makes me wonder because, you know, he has Spud here on the height, but there's not really much height to play with, and that kind of eliminates the ability of the Scout to, you know, dodge and weave. And we saw X hitting a lot of upward directs in the first match, but Thunder, he doesn't even need to worry about hitting upward directs. He just goes, shoots the rocket, quickly switches to the shotgun. Hopefully he hits a very deadly combo just like that, and it's just lights out from there, Eki.
Yeah, I mean, this is just rough for Spud here. 16-3, and you are down by 13. I mean, that's, well, now you're down by 14. I mean, you are struggling at this point. You are trying to claw back at any kind of advantage you could possibly find. Now down by 1 point away from victory for Thunder, and that is exactly what will come their way. So they've won the first round of this best-of-3 series on this map, and they're looking to take the second one. Maybe Spud thinking about a class swap, but no, they're going to continue playing the Scout here. Losing that first round very quickly, could potentially lose the second one here quickly as well. And it looks to me like Spud really isn't using a lot of their movement. They're not jumping very much. They're kind of just AD strafing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they're taking a lot of really poor fights because of it. They're not using their height. They're not using their movement or anything to their advantage. And at a certain point, this kind of just becomes spawn camping.
Do you remember when we were watching the MGE 1v1 World Championship last year? We saw there wasn't a lot of many scouts, but obviously of the scouts that did play, they had a very keen eye for movement and just dodging and air strafing around the rockets. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to see that right here because it's just, you know, Spud walking up hoping that he can hit a quick meat shot, but it's not working out so well. It's not. He's probably biding his time waiting for the next map to come around because this might be a far gone match. I don't think it's going to be able to be brought back at this rate.
Well, I've seen crazier miracles in my lifetime, both in and outside of TF2 in all types of games. Miracles have occurred, so it is possible that Spud could come back, but ooh, tragic voice crack, oh my goodness. But it looks like Thunder is going to be the one taking this one home. I mean, this series is pretty set in stone at the moment. I mean, this one is just, I mean, it's brutal. You're down 14 points here. It's 16-2. You really don't have much going for you, but all it takes is one little push to start building the momentum needed for a snowball. But as it stands right now, down 15 points, 18-3, 19-3 now. Maybe this just isn't Spud's map. Maybe they'll be able to do a little bit better on the coming one, but 19-4, the final round potentially here. But wait a minute, Thunder is taking a lot of damage. Spud is now playing the height a little bit more, but drops down, concedes the advantage they had, and Thunder will win the first map on Node here. So we'll be moving to the next map in the series here.
Silo. Rhymes with Sio, so.
Ooh, yeah.
Are we going to see a class swap? What do you think?
I feel like we really should. I feel like we really should see a class swap here. I feel like we're not seeing enough movement get used from Spud here to warrant staying on Scout. You're not jumping enough. You're not taking high ground that's in front of you. I mean, we saw a little bit of a shift. We saw a little bit of a shift to that toward the end of the game, but they're going to be staying on Scout here. And it looks like now they're using a little bit more of their movement, but they immediately revert to just AD spamming, trying to trick the soldier as if they were playing against another hit scan player, and that's just not what they're playing against. They've got to deal with splash damage here, and granted, Thunder does have the shotgun. If he has the shotgun out, he might be able to AD and get out of it, but with the splash, I mean, it's just difficult to keep using that playstyle against Thunder, as it's 5-1, potentially 6-1 here soon on Silo.
Yeah, this is kind of rough because once you have that high ground, look at all the at the low ground that Spud has to climb up from just to take the high ground back and potentially close the distance versus Thunder. this map isn't really kind to scouts, so once Thunder is able to get on a roll and he's able to cement his place at the top of the middle of this arena, it's so hard for Spud to stop the momentum that keeps trucking down on him.
Yeah, it is hard to stop it, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Like I said, I've seen crazier miracles in other games. I've been part of crazier miracles in other games, and right here we've seen Spud get a little bit of a twofer. Does not manage to get the third, but has clawed the lead down to 6, and now it's at 7. Thunder is going to be able to find another shotgun pick. Now it's 8, 13-5 here. Not favoring Spud in the slightest. Good rocket from Thunder to make it a 10-point lead here, as this is just rapid fire, death after death after death for Spud, trying to take the 1v1 in the face of Thunder. But it is not working out for them, and they will probably have to swap their class for this next round, because it is do or die in the round after this, assuming that they don't manage to claw their way back in and win this one, which they will not. 6-20 is the final score for the first round. So hopefully they'll change their class, hopefully they'll change up their play style, but it looks like they're going to be continuing to commit to the scout.
Yeah, this is a man, this is painful to watch. What can I tell you, Eki? You can try your best, and if you don't succeed, they do say to try again, but maybe there is a limit to trying again, but I was just confused there for a second, Eki. I thought that splash went through under the railings, but I guess not. It looked like it did. Did it? I don't know.
I'm honestly not sure, but regardless of if it did or not, it's 7-1 here on the final potential round, as Thunder is looking to take this one home. Thunder really wants this one to end quickly, and I don't blame him. He's been on a tear throughout this entire series, is up 3 rounds, only needs 1 more to take it home. So, I mean, this one is, this one's a little rough, all things considered. If he wins this round, it's gonna be over for Spud here. I believe they'll get sent down to the losers bracket. If I believe this is a double elim bracket.
Yeah, this is a double elim bracket.
Yeah, so Spud will get sent down to the losers bracket if they end up losing out on this game, which I hate to say it, but it looks more possible than ever, as it's 16-3. I mean, Spud can't even leave from the spot they spawned in from. Thunder is all over it with rockets, with hit scan. It doesn't matter what you have him use. He is all over your spawn. Immediately jumping back up onto the height, just playing exceptionally well. Spud does manage to find a 2 spot here. Could they manage to pile on more? They will not for the time being. It is 18-5 here, looking to make it 19, then 20 is Thunder. And they're in a pretty good spot here. They're sitting up with a 12-point lead. Now it is a 13-point lead, looking to make it 20. All they need is that final rocket, and that is exactly what will come through. So Thunder has won, if I am not mistaken, they have won 4 rounds on 2 maps, which means they have taken the best of 3 inside of the best of 3. And, well, they've moved on to the bracket. Spud's been sent down to the lowers, and I mean, that's just rough. I mean, you stay on a class you're very obviously not having success with. It's unfortunate.
You know, stuff happens. Stuff happens. Can't be too down and out. But obviously, when you look at the potential winnings that you could be playing for, not only that, but you also get a free trip to the U.S. I'd be a bit, I mean, obviously in my travel-centric mind, I do want to be traveling overseas, playing for money. Sometimes you got to be a little bit bummed out if you think that. But obviously, if you're just here to play for the pride, here to play to show that you're one of the best in Europe, it is kind of telling at how dominant these players are in the match. But
yeah,
so yeah.
I don't know. That was just a very unfortunate matchup. I mean, it was a Scout v Soldier like we saw earlier in the day. And obviously, I feel like a lot of people, you don't need to know that Scout v Soldier favors the Soldier. That is like just bare minimum knowledge. The Soldier is going to have a better time than the Scout. Especially if when you're playing your Scout, you're not using your movement. You're not jumping around. You're not jumping between the boxes. You're not trying to dodge spam. It's just, I mean, you're making it harder on yourself there. And I guess I saw some people earlier saying that Sputted is better at Scout v Scout, but and I guess they really demonstrated that. I mean, they showed that with just how they played. It definitely seems that they are going to be better at Scout v Scout, but if you're not able to adapt on the fly right there and play like you're playing against a soldier, and you're still moving like you're playing against a scout, you're just destined to lose. I hate to say it, but you are destined to lose there if you're not able to adapt on the fly.
Well, it looks like we have our next matchup, though. We have Mora versus SNH, so I'm expecting to see a Scout v Scout matchup here. We got a bit of talent here coming in, and we're going to see a new, fresh change of scenery here. Finally, we're not going to be seeing a Scout versus Soldier. We're going to be seeing a straight-up Scout v Scout. It's going to be raw DM. They're going to throw off the gloves. They're going to be brawling in the cafeteria, throwing food at each other, throwing some punches. Maybe a bit of sucker punches, but we are into this next match of the European Qualifier. It's a 1v1, and we got Scout v Scout starting off on Node.
Starting off rip, a perfectly even matchup here. Scout v Scout, two players of equal caliber fighting up against one another. This is about as even as you can make it. 2-1. Mora with a 2K to claw back from that 1-0 deficit. Could get traded out here, but no, it'll stay in their favor. That's a 3-for. Now a 4-for as they find 3 with the scatter and 1 with that pistol. Could fall down here. No, it's going to be a 5-1. A 5-1 game here. Mora is playing very well now. 6 in a row for Mora. 7 in a row for Mora here. Believe they got the 1 with that pistol earlier. So, I mean, this is just rough for SNH here. But they're trying to claw their way back in. They get a pistol pick. And now I think things are probably going to slow down just a little bit. 8-3. SNH still in that deficit, trying to claw their way back in, but maybe not going to slow down. Mora getting another 9-3. 6-point deficit for SNH here that they've got to try and make up.
Oh man, it's so hard to be. It's so hard when you're streaky as a scout. All of a sudden, you're like hitting shot after shot like you were as Mora earlier. But then eventually, once you let your foot off the gas just a little bit, you give the opponent an inch to get their way back into this game. And SNH is slowly closing in on the deficit, but still, Mora is able to maintain a distance with this lead. And now Mora is starting to pick things up again until SNH has an answer to those 2 kills, stopping the kill streak from going any further.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to throw yourself in the way, be a spanner in the works if you're trying to cut down on the momentum, because once you get momentum in MGE, it becomes very, very, very easy to snowball. And right now, it looks like Mora has been trained in boxing and has like actual training, and SNH here is throwing a couple haymakers that are unfortunately not landing, and they are in a very, very poor position now. That said, they cut the deficit down to 10, but immediately that's a pick clawed back by Mora. Now again, clawed back by SNH. They keep the deficit at 10. Now they've cut it down. It's no longer double-digit deficit, but that could change here with 1 missed shot, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 1 more pick will secure the round for Mora here as it's 19-9.
Mora
1 shot is all it takes.
Oh, they're just
1 shot is all it takes. Oh my goodness.
It's a bit of a crapshoot, but don't worry, you know, that's just delaying the inevitable if you're Mora. A little slip up can be made. You still have 10-round buffer to work with, but SNH is answering with 2 of his own. I'm not sure until Mora, well, you know, makes me eat my words. Takes the first round of this first map. Just needs 1 more to secure the bounty here, which is a map win to move on to Silo.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing, again, with MGE is the snowball. If you can start a snowball, you're probably going to have a very hard time losing. We saw Mora start a snowball there. I mean, they just got like a 6 kill streak with that scatter. I think they had a pistol to add on top of that. So they were playing very, very, very well at... They were just playing very, very, very well. Like I said, it was like they had professional training, and SNH was just throwing a couple haymakers and they weren't landing. And Unfortunately for SNH, they are in a similar situation here. They're in a deficit of 6 rounds. It was 5 just a moment ago, but now it's 6. As Mora is at 7. SNH is stuck at 1 here. Now it's a deficit of 7 rounds. 8-1 in favor of Mora. Cuts it down to 6 once more is SNH. They'll be able to find another pick here. Hopefully they'll be able to try and start a snowball of their own, but they are really, really struggling at the moment to try and find an angle that allows them to win this game.
Yeah, obviously SNH, you know, Czech from the Czech Republic. Obviously a ETF 2L Prem player if you've been following the ETF 2L scene for quite a bit. But obviously Mora here coming in as one of the best scouts in the MGE scene, specifically hailing from Europe. Obviously you've heard about the tales of the North American MGE lores. You've heard of the European ones too, but if you're not too neck deep into the European scene and you're a poor filthy American like me, there's some context for you. So it should be granted that Mora is pulling out all the stops here, looking to make his way to North America.
I mean, it's 13-4 here. Could potentially be 14-4, and that is what will happen. It's 14-4 here. Mora in the lead of 10. Now 11-point lead up against SNH here. Maybe a change of scenery is what SNH needs. Now, it is still possible to win this game. It's not over until it's over. If the fat lady ain't singing, the game has not ended. And nobody's singing at the moment. It is still possible for SNH to win this game. They get a pick, and now they're down 13 once more. Unfortunately, they're not able to keep this snowball going for them. They're just missing too many crucial shots. And this is where you kind of have to hope you enter a flow state. You've got to lock in for at least a couple seconds so you can cut down on the deficit. But the first map is going to go to Mora as we now move on to map 2.
Man, I mean, obviously you expect that you kind of want the games to be a little bit closer, but obviously there is a bit of warm up, you know, to the day. They're gotta have a few people, you know, gotta have a few wipes so that hopefully the ladder matches can be a little closer than was expected to start the day. But here we go, we're on to Viaduct Middle. Oh, I thought we were playing Silo, but finally we have a new map here into the foray, and this is just so catered to these scouts. You know, this is the perfect map to decide who's the better scout.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to have a scout 1v1 on any map, I would imagine it'd be on Product Mid. I mean, this is kind of where, at least I feel like, scout becomes fairly simple. You can't just kind of run at each other, but also it doesn't allow for the movement. You have the rocks, you have the crates by the wall here. You have a couple places where you can exercise your movement, but looks like it's going to be an AD battle between these two. A couple jumps getting thrown in the mix, nothing really special. It's 5-5 here. Very even matchup. Now 5-6. Mora still in the lead by 1. Now 2. Going to be able to find a 2K there, and that gives him a little bit more of a lead. And it just, I mean, right now this is much, much more even than the previous game. It's 6-7, the score line here. Now 7-7, it's all tied up once more. Second time the score's been tied. Well, I guess I shouldn't say second time the score's been tied. I'm sure it's been tied a couple more times than that, but second time it's really mattered.
He's actually clawing away with it. This is actually pretty good for SNH, who started off pretty slow to start off this series, and obviously being down a map, you kind of have to eventually get into your rhythm at some point, or else you're going to be facing a bit of an embarrassment of a series. But obviously SNH trying to claw away with this, but finally is able to connect the pistol shots onto Mora, and he's on a roll. This is I think we could be seeing something here. I don't want to be jinxing it, because, you know, there is the caster's curse, and yeah, I just cursed it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, such is the way. I feel like the caster's curse hits harder when you're casting esports than you are casting, you know, regular. I tried my hand at covering something the other day in IRL, in real life, and the curse did not hit nearly as hard as it did in, or as it does in TF2. So there's got to be something there with the power of the curse. But it's tied up yet again, SNH and Mora at 13 apiece. SNH trying to get themselves back in the lead. They've held the lead for as long as they have throughout the entire series on this map specifically, and they want to get themselves back in. They want to give themselves as best a chance as they can to walk away with the win. 15 apiece here. Every pick that Mora gets, SNH responds almost immediately and gets themselves back on par.
Oh, these pistol shots!
These are so low! Oh my goodness!
I mean, SNH just lost the lead there, but he is not trying to give an inch, because if you give Mora an inch, he'll take a mile, and SNH is starting to run away with it now on a 3K to put himself up 2. He's able to connect the last shot. He's got one more point before he can take this round point, but unfortunately Mora's going to stop him in his tracks. But SNH is smelling blood in the water, and like a shark, he's going to hunt for that last kill, but Mora has other things in mind, Eki.
Don't let the bloodlust get to you. You could lose this round out right here. You missed crucial shots. And Mora comes back after trailing for the longest amount of time that I've seen somebody trail while still remaining that close. And they are at 3 rounds won. All they need is this next map this next round rather, as a victory, and they walk away with the dub on the series. And that's just tragic if you're SNH, but you cannot let that get to you. You have to try and stay on top of the game here and let yourself play out the rest of it, because you can't force a 3rd round on Products mid if you win this game.
Scout is such a momentum-based MGE class. Obviously, yeah, once you're in the rhythm, you get into the groove of it, but obviously, like, there is a lot more than just ADing as a Scout. It's obviously coming down to the tracking, putting yourself in a unpredictable position, but also predictable position to land your shots onto the opponent. But Mora is slowly starting to figure out the ways of Product middle, and is starting to put SNH on a poster, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, they're up 4 here, definitely still in comeback territory. Now up 5, potentially be up 6 here as well if SNH continues to whiff, but both their health is seemingly equal. Could actually be a win for SNH, and never mind, Mora comes in with a meat shot, lands it, mops up another pick. It's going to be a 7-point deficit, now 8-point deficit. Oh my goodness, Mora is putting on a clinic here. Could get shut down though by SNH, coming back. Down by 7, still trying to get their way back in. Now only down by 6.
If there's a time where boys become men, it is now. SNH. You are down by quite a bit, but you can surely close the distance inch by inch, and he is on a tear. It is a 5K, 5 straight kills, but is starting to suddenly miss the shots, but a clean 101 damage shot. He gets a 6 in a row, Eki. The dream is real if SNH wants to bring it back.
Anything is possible, and like I said earlier, it is not over until the bell rings. You keep going until you hear the whistle, until you hear the bell. You don't stop until that person has reached 20 against you, and you have come back, you've clawed back, you have fought tooth and nail to get this deficit down to 2. Could potentially get it down to 1. No, it's going to go back to 3. Mora's going to be able to win that fight here, but SNH still has a window of opportunity to come back and win it and force a 3rd round here on Product. 14-17. This is pretty close now. 15-17. SNH going to be able to mop up another pick here. Could potentially pick up their 16th of the game. And that is exactly what will happen. They're within 1 here. It is a possible comeback, but they cannot choke like they did in the previous round. 2 points away is Mora from winning the series here and moving on to the bracket, forcing SNH to go further down. But now 1 point away is SNH. They get another pick. They're going to be able to tie it up at 18 apiece here. And now the brawl happening on top of the point here. SNH trying to mop up this final pick, whipping some of these crucial shots still at low HP. Both players both at 9. 1 bullet is all it takes. SNH is going to be able to force a round 3 potentially. And they will. We go to a round 3 on Product mid.
Oh my god, SNH, after a tilter giving up a 3-point lead on the first round, is able to bring it back. And this is for the marbles, Eki. We have never seen such mental fortitude up until now in this tournament. SNH can bring us to a 3rd map, but the job's not done yet.
The job is not done indeed. You still have another round to win to force a 3rd map and make this the first map to go all the way in the series, or in the stream so far, in the qualifiers so far, even as none of the matches we've covered have gone to the full 3 maps. They've been sweeps in full. SNH gets themselves in the lead here, getting 2 in a row. Now 3 in a row. Actually, I believe it's a little bit more than 3 in a row, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to say 3 in a row because I don't remember. But that's shut down immediately. Mora's going to be able to find that pick within 2 of SNH here. SNH gets them back up to a 3-point lead, looking for 4 here. Takes a very aggressive fight, lands the crucial meat shots, and that'll get them a little bit more of a lead, but that's cut back down by Mora.
Man, I don't know. This is scary. This is scary, Eki. I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now. as SNH is starting to give up ground here. Obviously, the scoreboard is a bit delayed there. It is currently 9-7 in favor of SNH. And SNH, though, he's starting to bring it back. He's starting to slowly carry that momentum that he brought over from that comeback into the latter stages of this round. Is able to get the pistol out, whip it out, clean up more with 1-2 shots with the pistol. Is now looking to close the distance now. Has the HP advantage, just needs to connect the pistol shots. But he is able to finalize it in the end. It is now 13-7. And Eki, slowly but surely, SNH is pulling away with the lead. But Mora still has some gas left in the tank to bring it back.
Yeah, Mora still has a little bit of fuel left to tide him over, and hopefully, if you are a Mora fan, be able to come back out on top. If they win this round, they do win the series. In spite of the fact that SNH has taken a round off of this map, they are still sitting at match point, or I guess I should say series point here, because if they win this round, they win. They send SNH down to the lower brackets.
Oh no, this lead has been chipped away by Mora, and now Mora ends up in the lead. Now up by 2. Can SNH pull off the Cinderella comeback? Yes, he's able to tie it up. Now it is 15-15, but SNH, you gotta have something left in you if you want to bring it to a third map. But Mora is still pulling away inch by inch. He's getting closer and closer to the finish line, but maybe it's not about the hair finishing the race in first. You know, always slowly but surely, the tortoise slowly comes back and inches its way back into the game. But Mora has 2 more rounds, 1 more round now before he pushes SNH to the lower bracket. But SNH just needs 3 more. He is right on the coattails of Mora.
35 HP on SNH, and they will fall to the pistol shots from Mora. Mora wins the series. A very well-fought battle between these two. It took SNH just a bit too long to warm up and get ready. And despite exercising great mental fortitude, staying in the game, unfortunately, they just can't. They cannot pull back and get the map win on product, but that was very well played between the both of these players. Very, very, very good display of just scout v scout dominance from Mora.
So we're gonna obviously it was a heartbreaking way to end, but Eki, I'm gonna let you get some water. We're gonna do a little 1-minute break so that my little co-caster can get some water, and then we will be back with the next match. That's gonna be Ala versus Klux here, coming up next. We'll see you in just a bit.
a punch to the face. The way I'm left in my disdain. I've been feeling pretty down, so I get very high. I've been feeling pretty down, so I am very high. I don't mind
And welcome back, everybody, to Fireside Cast. It remains me, Eki, and Sayo on cast and production. Sayo's doing the heavy lifting, doing a little bit of both on the casting and the production end of things. We are coming back with the next matchup, which is Alov versus Klux. This is again the MGE 1v1 World Championship, the qualifier for the Europeans. Winner of the qualifier moves on to receive an all-expenses-paid trip to the World Championship LAN in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So a lot is on the line here for these players. We've already seen some folks get sent down into the lower brackets, and like I said, there's going to be Alov versus Klux. One name I recognize is Alov. I've seen them play quite a bit in past, and I think you're going to have to take over this cast because my game is a black screen.
That's fine. We are on note, and for those wondering, where's the damage numbers? Where's the STV? Unfortunately, I guess MGE did not give us a server to work with here, so we're gonna have to cast from in-game. So live without damage numbers just for one match, and bear with us, please. We are into node though, and we got Alov versus Klux. We got the Soldier v Soldier. Finally, we get to see some Soldier v Soldier. It was Scout v Soldier to start, then another Scout v Soldier, a Demo v Soldier at that, and then a Scout v Scout. But now we got Soldier versus Soldier, and Alov is off to a pretty good start here. He's got 6-2. Actually, now Klux does have a third to his name, and Alov is gonna kill Klux while Klux was hiding around the spire. But either way, you know, Alov here, he actually had messaged me a bit prior going to after Poland, saying he wanted to go to Philadelphia. So you can see that there's someone playing with the need to go to the U.S. to go fight against Kobe, to go fight against potentially Yum Yum and other MGE wars from North America down in Philadelphia.
I mean, that would be the time of your life, I imagine, if you're an MGE lord, where you spend most of your time on MGE. You get head out. You get this is an all expenses paid trip. This isn't no, you know, we're not skimping out on the details here. This is all expenses paid. You know, they're getting everything covered. They're getting flown out to Philadelphia to participate in that championship land. So I mean, they've got a lot to fight for here between these two. As I finally loaded back into the server, it takes this game 3,000 years to
Due to
load.
inactivity. Wait, what? Why is
There we go. Now I'm back. I'm back.
Dude, it kicked me due to inactivity. What the hell?
Well, you know what? That's okay. We can radio cast for a moment while you try to reconnect. Alov is just taking out Klux here. It's a 13-8 score line at the moment. Both of them fighting over the spire here on node. Klux gets a nice jump forward. We'll take down Alov here. That'll make it 9-14 as Alov is able to find another pick there. No air shots have happened just yet. Just a little bit of downwards direct action and a little bit of counter jumping here. Alov could have the opportunity to make that one air shot, but no, not quite. Not to be able to find it.
What's the score
Just
now?
a little bit of counter jumping happening on top of the point. It's 10-15 here on node. Alov probably will die here. Oh, the air shot! Never mind. I stand mistaken. A back-to-back air shot to make it 17-10. The double! But no triple. No triple. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness gracious me. And, you know, I've just noticed these guys are not running shotgun at all, which is kind of surprising because earlier in the day, we saw a lot of shotgun. The Minecraft duel happening. Looks like Klux is going to win that one.
My boy Alov, he came to show up to play. He wants to go to America, bro. My brother, he was asking, yo, Sio, I need a bit of a tour guide here when I'm in America. Do you think they're gonna shoot me up here? Nah, but don't worry, they got a fresh Philadelphia native here to escort him around, prevent ICE from getting on to him.
Yeah, I mean, got a lot going on here. If you're Alov here, you're 1 point away from winning this round. Could potentially get yourself a good spot going into the next one. You could walk away with a free win on this map if you're I was gonna say if you're careful, but Alov don't care about no being careful. He does not give a damn. He's gonna go in with his pickaxe and he will cut off your legs with the pickaxe and get himself a round win. So that's how that round goes. We're on to round two. If Alov wins this, we go to the second map. and he'll be up the advantage. If Klux wins this, we go to a third round on the map. Nice downward direct after doing a lot of damage to get themselves in the lead. Only by 1, however, now by 2. They find another pick to mop it up. Klux taking a lot of damage here. Still winnable for them, though, as the rocket does not kill. It only does a little bit of splash damage. Trying to use the movement from the escape plan to get themselves some extra maneuverability, but they back up against that wall, and that is their death warrant having been signed. Lance on top of Klux. You do not have the market gardener, Olive. You could not find that pick, and they'll have to settle for a pick later after being taken down. Scoreline 5-2 in favor of Olive. Could be 6-2 very soon, as long as Klux does not walk up into the wall, but it doesn't matter. They're going to be able to hit the air shot again. Oh, a double air shot!
Some Dragon Ball Z shit out here, Hugee.
I'm saying, my goodness.
Oh!
It's just back-to-back double air shots.
You know
they're
what?
just hitting each other.
You know what I do mess with? It's the fact that they're playing shotgun. They're not playing with shotguns. This is a gentleman's kind of game. This is pure raw Soldier DM at its peak. None of this Kobe 1920 quick switch kind of type. Oh!
Oh, another. Dude, that's like, what, the third Minecraft kill we've had this game? What is happening? Oh my god! Oh my goodness! And that gives Klux the lead too, no less. Oh my goodness gracious!
Olive doesn't want it, bro. He does not want that smoke.
He does not want the escape plan smoke. I don't think anybody does after watching Klux here. Almost went for another one, but I guess just wanted the movement to get in here. Olive having a little bit of a struggle. Still up by 1. Klux will fall. That'll tie it up here at 8 apiece between both of these players. A little bit of a lull on the air shots and a little bit of a lull in the pickaxe kills, but Olive will counter jump that point again, tied up at 9 apiece here.
It's considerably closer, you know. Imagine how it would have been a bit more of a snooze fest if you think about it if they were with the shotgun, because you know we just see a bit of a 1-2 punch, pull out this rocket, shoot once, then pull out the shotgun and hope you can combo for like a 150 damage punch. But we got a bit more gentleman's fight here, you know. We're leaving it all on the playing field, so to say.
Exactly, and welcome to the Pastime Raiders. Since you're just joining us, this is the European qualifier for the MGE.TF or MGE.TF 1v1 World Championship.
Bro.
Whoever wins the qualifiers gets an all-expenses-paid trip to Philadelphia.
Yo, and excuse the
for inactivity again. I mean,
excuse it, bro.
I think it's because
why am I getting kicked but you're not getting kicked, bro?
Because I'm moving around in free cam. That's why you're sitting on the POVs, so it thinks you're not moving, even if you switch between them.
It's stupid, bro. It's stupid. He didn't have the STV set up for me, so I had to cast from the end game. It's kind of scuffed right now, but I'll have to make a do with it.
We'll just have to make do. Score is at 14-14 apiece here. Klux and Olive all tied up. Olive is going to be able to find a pick that makes it 15-14 in their favor. Getting a lot of good damage here, but a nice air shot from Klux is going to be able to seal the deal potentially. They're looking for a Minecraft 1v1, and Klux is just standing there staring down at Olive here, and they will win the pickaxe duel. A lot of pickaxe duels happening between these two, and they're very honorable. They take it every time. Olive is gonna win this duel. Nice air shot, can't get the double. Unfortunately, we'll get taken down by Klux there after whiffing those shots. Had nothing to really combat the height presence of Klux with. But now they're in a little bit of a better position. Klux will crater, and that gives another point to Olive here. 17-16, Olive in the lead. Now 18-16. Olive, if they win, oh my goodness, nice air shot. Good rocket to deny the jump as well, but they end up just penciling. Olive doesn't expect it. Gets sent up into the stratosphere. Will crater down at 17-19. Olive in the lead with 1 point away from winning this map. Should be able to mop it up here very, very soon. Trying to agree to the Minecraft duel once more. They're so gentlemanly. What an air shot. Can't hit the double. Does not land the double. It's a sink onto the floor. Both players at 1 HP. 19-19. It is tied up here. We could see a round 3 if Klux is able to win it. But no. Olive will win with 1 point. And that is probably the most sportsmanlike game we will see all day today.
Is Olive like... Is Olive the GOAT?
Might be. That's possible.
What's our next map? What is our next map? Are we going to... Oh, wait, we can't show that. Wait, can we show that on stream? No, I just walked up, did a little bit of back shots, so...
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what map is this?
What map have they gone to? Oh,
It's like-
this is Grand Middle.
This is not Granary Middle. This is... Okay, it is Granary.
This is Grand
It's
Middle,
Granum-
but with
Grand
some
Mid
adjustments.
Pro. Granary Middle Pro, okay.
Okay, interesting.
And we got
Well,
a demo man
off
out
rip.
from Clux.
Yeah, this is... Oh, good pipe. Good sticky onto the floor as well. Wait a minute. This is the Demo v Soldier matchup I think we've been waiting for, as earlier today we saw a Demo v Soldier matchup that really did not go the way of the Demo, but on a map like Granary Mid, I could see it potentially being a little bit better for the Demo man here. I do think the Soldier still has the advantage, but it could still go a little bit better for the side of the Soldier.
The thing is that like, if you're doing a pro version of Grand Mid Pro, so to say, and you're playing Dome Man here as Clux, you don't. The crates kind of obscure your vision, so you can't really predict the air sticky pipes. But I mean, at least you have a general idea of where the Soldier might land towards you. You could. Oh! Whoa! Never mind. You know, Clux has this map down to a T. I'll take back what I say, bro.
I think the reason it might benefit the Demo man just a slightly more than it would if they were on more closed map is because these people are usually in like Prem, or you know, this is Europe, so I think Granary is played at all levels over in Europe, as opposed to here in NA where it's usually reserved for, you know, one-off cups, or the invite players sometimes Advanced gets the option to play it as an alt map. But they're very familiar with this map, so while the mid terrain may have changed and there's slopes that lead up to the crates, generally speaking, the pathing that the Soldiers will take is the same. So they might have that prediction down to a T, even though they can't see very well. And it's almost tied up here. Scoreline is 6-7, now 6-8. Get your messages out now, chat. We all know you're going to spam the 6-7 emoji. Just get it out. Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't 6-7. It's now 9-6 apparently. Clux is, I mean, showing his demo prowess, but I don't know if he's got it in him to get to North America. Oh, never mind. Take back what I say, bruh. This guy has a plan here. He's a man with a plan. That's demo man on brand.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. I think the pathing that the Soldier takes is just, it's predictable. They've played this map so many times before, they already know what's going to happen. I think those newer maps where it is strictly, you know, MGE based and very much kind of shaped like an ulti-duo map, it's a little bit more unpredictable, even though you would imagine it would be more predictable because the objective is far more straightforward. But I think it's just familiarity. These guys know what a Soldier is going to do, and they know what a Demo is going to do on this map. So realistically speaking, I feel like they're pretty evenly matched here. But we won't be able to see any pickaxe duels.
You're talking to You're talking to Poland TF 2026 participant Alov, though.
That's true. That is
coming
true.
in with a chip on his Soldier.
Oh, going in with a melee duel. Oh! Alov wins it again. This guy cannot be stopped when he pulls out the pickaxe, man. Oh my goodness. A missed air pipe opportunity for Clux will lead to their downfall. 15-10 in favor of Alov here. It'll be 15-11 now. Clux going to be able to find a sticky pick.
Alov, though, I mean, man. I expected more from the pocket soldier of Keck Mignon Samurai. But maybe, you know, Clux is just a formidable opponent that Alov has to get past as one of his little hero arcs, and where he becomes like an OP super powered hero and has to come through with a mini boss, which in this case is Mr. Clux.
It's possible. I mean, Clux has really been I mean, come on now. You don't jump on Alov there. You do not do that. But I guess they wanted to. They ate the air shot for it. Alov is at 18 here, now 19. 1 point is all they need to secure this round. An air sticky now landing right in their face, doing a lot of good damage here, but they're going to have to land it on Alov again. Jumping forward with the pickaxe out will lose the melee duel. I think their honor points dropped because they shot a rocket after pulling out the pickaxe, but it's been reset after they lost the duel. They win that round 20-12. So Clux is now in a do or die situation as they need to win this round. Otherwise, they lose the series in a sweep. Looks like it's going to be another soldier v soldier melee duel on mid. It's going to be Clux winning it out at first.
Clux. Wait, Clux may have actually just like, that may have just been the freebie round, and now he's just unlocking on soldier, because, man,
oh, maybe.
This guy's coming out. He's getting aggressive on the Olive. I don't think we saw this on Node at all.
Yeah, I don't think this is something we saw on Node in any capacity, really. I mean, maybe some capacity. Oh, nice air shot from Clux there. Clux tying it up at 3 apiece. Could potentially get themselves in the lead here with Olive being pretty low. Going for the jump. Pencils ever so slightly, but straight out of the way of the rocket. They're going to go for a melee duel again. Clux wins that. He's 2 for 2 in this round on melee duels. Whips the air shot, tries to surf off the rocket from Olive here. Now the melee duel once more. They're 3 for 3 on melee duels here. Winning that duel by the crate. And the air shot. Going for the upwards air shot. Not going to be able to find it. The downward air shot, or the downward direct, rather, from Olive here. Not going to be able to land. Now another air shot from Clux. They are in the lead at 7-2-3. Another air shot and another rocket to land. They've cleaned up Olive very, very well in this round. Clux eats a lot of good damage from Olive here, though, but they play around the crates, manipulating the predictions for Olive here. They're playing very, very well so far. Could potentially lose this here as they run forward. No honor from Olive. Does not respect the melee duel as they spike Clux into the floor.
Man. Clux started off pretty well to start, but I think Olive is slowly getting his way back into the game. Obviously, he is in the lead so far, so I mean, lose this and you don't have to worry because you won the first round. It doesn't mean the map's over yet, but you're kind of like setting yourself back a little bit in terms of time if you want to get this match done and over with pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible here. Olive down 3. It is 10-7 at the moment. Clux is still in the lead now, 11-7. Up 4, trying to maintain that lead. They have not had the opportunity to stay in the lead for too long, but this is probably the longest they've been able to stay in it, and they are trying their absolute hardest to claw away around from Olive because it is do or die. You have to win this round, otherwise you go to the lowers, and now they're 3 for 4 on melee duels. Going for the jump, misses the air shot is Olive. They're both going to be launched up into the air. Olive going to be able to hit a redemption air shot.
Does Olive want it this bad, though? Does he want Philly that bad? I don't know. I don't know.
They do. I think they want it.
He was down 9-3 at one point in this match, but now he's tied it up. Well, did tie it up, and now he's lost the lead. Now he's down 1 again, but that's okay. I think Clux is having a little bit of silly, whimsical time here, just jumping around and having fun. Because, you know, while it is a competition, you gotta have fun, and if you're gonna win, you better win having fun, dude.
That's true. We did see Clux earlier in chat saying he dropped a colon D and said this is really fun. So I mean, I think Clux is having the time of his life right now. Honestly, just having a great time playing some MGE, playing some TF2 against someone like Olive here. But they're going in, jumping on the blue crate here. That'll be a downward rocket. Olive still behind by 1. Clux is still in the lead for this map, or for this round, I should say. If they win this, they can force a 3rd round on the map. They're going to go for the melee duel. Actually, no, that's not even a duel at that point. That's just cyberbullying by Olive there. They will get the pickaxe pick nonetheless.
There's a bit of penciling going on there. I think, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, your opponents can't predict where you're going, so.
True. If you don't know where you are, your opponents don't know where you are, you see.
Just hitting up these pencils. I think at this point we'll just have a bit of fun, you know? Yeah, I'm
just having a fun time. Olive craters! So Clux is still in the lead off that Olive crater. Could potentially stay in the lead. No. It's going to even out here. Honestly, yeah, I'm all for it. This is a great matchup here. Nice air shot from Olive to get themselves back into the lead, 17-16 in favor of Olive here. They want Philly bad, and they are demonstrating it here on Grand Pro. 18-16 here. Clux wants to get back in the lead here, but is 2 HP here. Keeps getting taken down from good spam from Olive. 19 to 16. One more death will seal Clux's fate to the lower bracket. They could go for a melee duel here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Could Clux go 3 for 5? Oh, unfortunate. An unfortunate set of circumstances. Clux will get sent down into the lower bracket, and Olive will walk away with a sweep of Granary and of Node. So, very well played by Clux, all things considered. It definitely seems a little bit closer than the score will make it out to seem. But all things considered, that was a very good matchup.
It was fun to watch because, obviously everybody's just trying to kill each other. But at this one, they are trying to kill each other, but they're going to do it while having a bit of fun. I'll tell you that.
They're killing each other with whimsy, whereas all these other guys are just killing each other. There's no whimsy, no fun involved. It's just about killing each other. But then you get Clux involved. You add the whimsy factor in there. And that's what separates Clux versus Olive from the rest of the matches we've covered today.
I wonder what is going to be next on our schedule.
I imagine we'll be continuing some of the upper bracket coverage, which, if we did, I believe we'll probably be looking at X versus Olive, or probably Mora versus Thunder. At least that's what I would assume. They have not updated the bracket just yet, so it is a little bit behind. But if you would like to see the bracket, you can type ! bracket, and that'll take you to the Bracket HQ link, and that will show you the current stage of the qualifier. Again, it has not been updated just yet, so it is a little bit behind. But the upper bracket matches that should be updated, or should be updated to, rather, I think will be X versus Olive, which is seed 1 and seed 4, although seeding doesn't really matter. And then it will be Mora and Thunder, which is seed 3 and seed 2, going up against one another in the continued upper bracket.
I think we can put that on screen, actually, to show just everybody what is actually up here. Oh yeah, you are right. The bracket is not up. I don't know if there was actually any actual seating done for it. I'm just going against the
I don't imagine seating matters here, because what would seating even be based off of? Like MGE Elo or something? Like, if a guy plays mostly Prem and is getting a lot of their MGE in from playing Prem, they could still be good at MGE even though they don't play MGE and have a really low Elo and have a low seed. So I guess it just depends on what they're basing the seeding off. And if there is no seeding that really matters, then I imagine they just kind of threw the names in as they thought of them, or as they signed up, or as they were able to qualify to play in this bracket. So I don't imagine seeding has much of an impact on this.
obviously yeah. I mean that is true. You gotta eventually how would I say it? I mean seeding can only do so much to determine what a player's skill level is. If the player shows up on the day, then great. It's probably indicative of what their seeding is. But in a game like TF2 where the community is so small, there are some fine razor margins here that separate, the best of the best from
the
worst of the worst.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what this next upcoming match is. We have we know what the next upper bracket matches are going to be. We're not too sure how the seating for the lower bracket's going to work, who's going to be fighting who down there.
I mean, looking at the bracket, right now, if this bracket is correct, Mora versus Thunder, those upper bracket matches look kind of sweet to watch. Watching Thunder, either having the chance to watch Thunder versus Morris as a Scout v Soldier, or X versus Olive, that's going to be a Soldier v Soldier. It's going to be pretty heat, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, regardless of what upper bracket match we cover, it is going to be a fun one. It's going to be X and Olive or Mora v Thunder. I mean, both of these matchups, all four of these players, they played exceptionally well. I mean, obviously, if they're continuing on in the bracket, but when they face up against each other, there can be only one winner. And one of them is going to have to get sent back down to I say sent back down. They'll have to be sent down to the lower bracket with the remaining losers of round 1. But I mean, at this point, we can only speculate and wait for the players to add up, and we can figure out what match exactly we are going to be covering. So, I mean,
Well, lucky for you. Lucky for you. I think we do have the next match up. It's gonna be Spud versus
ooh.
SNH. So the
Ah.
hometown hero, Mr. Spud. I mean,
We're going
Mr.
to the lower
SNH.
bracket for this one.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching some.
Right.
We're gonna be watching some lower
First one to the
bracket.
lowers.
Because obviously we had the chance of either doing Huge versus Clux, but I feel like this match may be a little more fun to watch. It's just gonna be a straight up Scout v Scout, but if Scout v Scout can seem boring in some scenarios, but if anything could be indicated from that match that we watched between Mora and SNH, when it gets close, any kind of matchup is gonna be good to watch. Doesn't matter if it's Scout v Scout, Soldier v Demo, Soldier v Soldier, whatever you name it. I'm just here to watch a close match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really care what the classes are, matching up against each other. As long as the game is close. It could be a Soldier v Scout. As long as the game is close, I don't mind. It could be Demo v Demo, Demo v Soldier, Soldier v Soldier. Doesn't matter. The matchup definitely does tell a tale of how, potentially the match could go. But, I mean, I don't imagine that just the class pick alone will determine the winner. I mean, you can totally diff a soldier on Scout, provided you use, movement and you manipulate the high ground and you just try to bait out shots as much as you possibly can. You definitely play a little bit more long con, I feel, if you play Scout and a soldier, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm watching we're in the server just watching up a Mora getting a little more warm up. I don't know if we're playing the upper bracket matches. I don't know if this might be the last match that we're casting today, but we're gonna keep casting until hopefully our voices are gone and we just drop dead from exhaustion. Actually, no, I would not like to be casting to exhaustion. I would like to be.
Yeah, I don't want to drop dead from exhaustion, Loki. I kind of like being alive, so if I die, I can't cast anymore. Come on.
So you can't get the bread.
That's true. I can't get bread.
How about we take it to a quick break before we head into this next match?
Yeah, we'll take a quick 3-minute break. Maybe get some water, run to the restroom. You guys get yourself some popcorn, some snacks.
Yep.
Something to hold you over while we get ready for this next matchup.
It's only been 3 weeks, but I don't ever wanna leave. Just like the movies. Take me to the 16th. We can be the bourgeoisie. MD and BSOP. He's looking at other girls, but I don't care. 'Cause I'm just trying to figure out what he wants me to wear. He's looking at other girls, but I don't care. He's just a shallow boy, but he makes you feel like you're in Paris. He makes you feel like you're in Paris. He's just a shallow boy, but he makes you feel like you're in Paris. Like Venus to Milo, I'm living in a gallery. I can't touch what I can see. Reflections in the window of light from the mezzanine reminds me what I can't be. In love with another world and I'm aware. He's just a shallow boy, but he makes you feel like you're in Paris.
Oh, the score's broken for me. Did they start or are they?
I think we're in the game, guys. Spud versus SNH. We are on node. I'm gonna try to find the scores right now. It is question mark.
Well, I don't have scores here, so we're running in the blind.
2-3 Spud.
2-3. Okay. Well,
Oh,
my
now it's
UI
tied
is
up.
entirely broken, so
Feel
you're
free to
gonna have to
reconnect.
do the score updating.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
got
go ahead
Spud
and
versus
retry.
SNH. It is a 1v. It is the Scout v Scout. We're back with the bread and butter. You know, the most exciting match of the day was Scout v Scout. Well, we're gonna have the pleasure of watching yet another Scout v Scout between SNH and Spud. We got Node, we got Product Mid next, and then we have Badlands. Should we have to go to a decider, but it's looking pretty even right now. Eki is currently tied up. Spud and SNH are trading frags apiece, and honestly, this is a lot close. This is the kind of close match that I expected coming into these European qualifiers for the MGE.TF 1v1 World Championship. A bit of back and forth. No player is like taking too far of a lead. It's just back and forth, back and forth. No one is willing to give an inch to one another.
Exactly, and with the score being 9-10 right now, Spud is in the lead now, 10-10. SNH is going to be able to mop it up. Again, Scout v Scout kind of deal here on all the maps that we're going to see, probably Node, Product, and then I forget the third map off the top of my head. It is 12-10, though. SNH is in the lead now, 13-10, finding another pick right there. It's 3 in a row. The domination does come up there. Now a fourth, 14-10 in favor of SNH. Spud playing on the low ground still here, really not utilizing a lot of their movement, just using AD, and we're seeing a very big contrast in the playstyles of these two players. Now, I'm not saying that this time it's costing Spud as much because they were in contest with SNH for a very, very long time. I mean, they had it pretty even for a while, and then SNH kind of just entered their flow state. They started snowballing quite a bit, so I think all things considered, this is going to be a very close match. This round might not tell how close it is actually going to be, but it is definitely one of the closer games that we have covered today. It's 18-13 in favor of SNH still, as 2 more picks is all they need
Spud
to win this first round. But Spud, with the pistol pick, could potentially find a little bit more here. Does get taken down, however. 90 HP, getting a couple of shots landing on SNH here, though, but 1 pistol shot is all it takes from SNH, and they will win the first round here on Node.
I mean, when you compare the level of difficulty these two had prior to this lower bracket match, you gotta say that SNH is a little bit more prepared, considering that his opponent was a Scout compared to Spud, which was a dominant soldier in the name of, I believe it was X, correct? Or no, it was Thunder. Sorry. He's also a pretty formidable soldier in his own right.
Exactly. I mean, all of these players are going to be formidable in some capacity. I know for a fact that if I were here, I'd get 20-0'd 6 ways till Sunday. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I mean, all of these players are very strong, and I mean, we're seeing that being demonstrated right now. It's 4-4 here on the second round of Node. If SNH wins this, they move on to Product, and they'll have to win 2 more rounds on Product to win the series, and they'll eliminate Spud from the qualifier.
Well, SNH is kind of pulling away with this round a little bit. Was down and out to start, but has slowly moved his way into the leaderboard. Now up 9-5 here. Spud has slowly stalwarted in terms of his progression in this round. He's actually, while he did start off strong, he's now a bit of a cold state, I'd say, to say Eki Moses. But now SNH is getting a 2K now, but it's quickly answered back by Spud. It's now 10-7. Actually, 11-7. Sorry.
Yeah, 7-11 here in favor of SNH. They're playing very well here, just using the height to their advantage, creating distance, and then closing immediately with their movement. Now, Spud, when the fights come to Spud, I tend to see that they lock in a little bit more. They hit a little bit more shots, like right here. It came to Spud. Spud did not go into SNH. SNH came to Spud. So, I think right now, this is probably... We had a pretty even game earlier. This is probably going to be one of the more even ones. Definitely not the most even, but one of the more even ones. As the score is 14-11 in favor of SNH currently. Now 15-11. Finding a double. should maybe be able to find a triple here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Could they run home with it here, though? If they find a fourth, yes, they will.
Oh,
so that is 4 in a row. It's that high ground. It's your friend. It's your best friend, even. In all times, good or bad, it's been there for you. And you're neglecting the high ground here. And that's something you really don't want to see, especially with this map on the line.
I mean, you compare Product Mid to Node, which is the current map that we're playing on, especially made for MGE 1v1 purposes. There's a lot less room to move around, which also means less room for error, and you gotta it just all boils down to, can you hit your shots in such a constricted space? But for Spud, it's looking like he's making a late resurgence into this round. He's gotta make no mistake though, because one false move like that, and SNH is gonna win the map. He's gonna take it 2-0 on Node, and we're gonna be heading to Product Mid next to decide if SNH will eliminate Spud from this qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty
quick.
Pretty good, pretty quick, but also pretty good, pretty close round, all things considered. It's always the Scout v Scout matches that end up going a little bit faster, but we have moved on to Product here. SNH with first blood, but tied up immediately by Spud, not looking to have any lead last too long. Playing on that low ground a little bit, SNH does have the slight advantage there, will hit more shots at the end of the day. Does seem to be missing a couple. The pistol duel will be won by Spud here. And it looks like they're not really using any of the height to their advantage here. They are just kind of playing around this point.
You kind of notice now also in the Scout 1v1s, there's a bit of AD, and you think it's just purely AD, but obviously not only are you trying to AD, but you're also trying to make yourself hard to predict on where the opponent can flick and get the best amount of damage onto you, but you're also trying to make it easier to guide your crosshair into the loving arms of your opponent and hit that 100 damage meat shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important that you try to manipulate your opponent's aim, get them to lead you too far, and then come back in, cut them close. You want to try and bring it to them after you've baited out one of their shots. I mean, we've been seeing that. We've been seeing a lot of AD, and from the outside perspective, it really does just look like they're pressing AD, back and forth and back and forth. And sometimes it does, you know, devolve into that, but there is more thought behind it than, you know, just spamming A and D. You hold it one direction for a little bit longer sometimes. You're just trying to manipulate your opponent's aim so you can have the upper hand, but unfortunately it is not working out for Spud right now, as they are behind by 3. They do find a pick with the pistol here onto SNH, so they'll actually cut that lead down to 2 as it's 11-9. It's still in favor of SNH, now 3-point lead for SNH, but still very easy to cut down on this lead if you are Spud here. All you got to do is just position yourself slightly better.
And there's some flashes of coldness. Obviously, Spud missing a few shots that may have probably been given me based on the way SNH was moving around and bobbing and weaving around Spud's crosshair, but Spud still has a bit of a glimmering hope here in this match. We've seen flashes of brilliance out of Spud, but right now, when it's all said and done, he is down, but he is not out quite yet. He's diminished the lead down to 2, but now it's gone back up to 3 as SNH kills Spud, but Spud is gonna send him one right back. It's now 13-15, but SNH makes it 16-13.
17-13 now. They're on a tear, looking to send this one home. This is only the first round of Product, but if this is how the momentum is going to continue, I'm scared to see how the second round is going to go for Spud, and eager to see how it's going to go for SNH as they're at 19. It's now 4-point lead for SNH. Spud has to play perfectly if they want any hope of winning this, but it will be SNH winning the first round of Product Mid here, and as they refight on mid, we move on to the second round. If SNH wins this, they win the series in a sweep. And, well, they'll be moving up in the lower brackets, and Spud will be eliminated.
I do want to mention, too, is I wonder, because for the Russian qualifier, even if the Russians, like, for example, X is a Russian playing in this tournament, do qualify, and they aren't able to make it to the U.S. due to the political climate that stands between us and getting these players to Philadelphia. Obviously, there is a cash prize pool that will be deducted from the $2,000 prize pool going to the Russian that wins the qualifier. In this case, it should be X. But I wonder what happens in the scenario where one of these Europeans, they make it to they win the qualifier, but they ultimately can't make it to the U.S. for those political reasons. So I hope, obviously, whoever comes out on top does have some form of, consolation prize.
Yeah, I imagine they will. They've probably got contingencies set up for that exact situation. I mean, it is not easy to get. It is unfortunately very difficult to get into the U.S. at the moment. So I imagine they have contingencies.
Spud is pulling away with this round. A late game resurgence from the player who, had a pretty poor start. Obviously, it was a Soldier v Scout kind of scenario, so there is that to be taken for granted. But now on an even playing field where both players are playing the same class, he's shown a bit of a swagger, a bit of flair, so to say, in this match against SNH. But it may be a little bit too late here. He is down and needs to be flawless moving forward.
Yeah, Spud is having a rough time at the moment. They are in the lead, but only by 1. Okay, but now as I say that, they're up by 2. So there aren't things that could go their way, but immediately SNH claws back within 1. Could very easily tie this game up at 3 HP, though. Spud hits a crucial meat shot. That'll get it up by 1 once more, as SNH is going to be able to claw back again. Now it's tied up. SNH with the meat shots. Playing very well here, getting their aim warmed up and ready. They're taking these fights on mid. They're hitting a lot of good meat shots here, but the pistols are going to be where it comes down to for this fight. Spud going to be able to find that pick. Now back in the lead once more. Claws back from being behind by 1. 15 to 16. Now 16-16 across the board. They're just trying to fight each other over top at this point. They're trying not to get too close to each other, but they really need to at certain points as well. Spud's going to be up at 17. Could potentially go up to 18 here. Maybe. It's possible.
Oh, there you go.
And that's exactly what will happen. SNH now down by 2. They could be seeing a round 3 here on Product if they do not lock in. 17 to 18. This is anybody's game. 18 to 18 here as SNH takes home that pick. Trying to find another one. Both players very, very low here. SNH wins it. 1 away from victory across the board. It all comes down to this. 1 meat shot is all it takes. And SNH will walk away with a sweep through the series up against Spud. And unfortunately, Spud has been eliminated from play.
Well, SNH keeps his hope going to America alive, should he wish to go to America. But having seen the competition that lies ahead of him in this tournament, it's going to be a tough hill to climb. But the first boulder has been toppled over, that being Spud, who in his own right is still a formidable opponent, just maybe not as strong as the other ones that we have seen so far in play, but it's always good to start from somewhere.
Absolutely. And, unfortunately, you are in the lower brackets, but you do have the opportunity to claw your way all the way back through. Back to the uppers, you do have the opportunity. Anything is possible if you believe. But as it stands right now, I don't know if that's our last game or if we're doing another one. I imagine because we've been going for about 2 hours, that might be it, but I'm not too sure. The bracket still has not been updated, so we're not entirely certain on what's going on. But, I mean, very well played by SNH there to sweep out that series, honestly. I mean, Spud played very well. Unfortunately, couldn't get any rounds under their belt, but such is the way of MGE. If you can't get your snowball started at a certain point, it becomes too late, and you have to play essentially perfectly. And once you get to that point, it becomes incredibly difficult to mount a comeback. It's not impossible, but I mean, it becomes very, very difficult.
So we do have 2 more matches. According to our good friends here over at the MG, as we are talking in the little broadcast, we are going to be doing the upper bracket matches now. So Eki, I know we've been going on for quite a while, but there's always a build up to the best matches of the day. And what can I say? We are here watching X versus Alov and Thunder versus Morris. So we're gonna have a soldier v soldier and what I would presume is a scout v soldier matchup. Obviously, Alov and X would be the soldier v soldier matchup, whereas Mora and Thunder would be the scout v soldier matchup. So we have the four top dogs so far, the ones that have won their opening matches. So we can at least expect a pretty close match between both matches. At least one. Hopefully both of them can be close, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, that's the dream, and that both of them being close, just having non-stop close matches, that would be great. But MGE sometimes does not allow for such niceties as, well, constant close matches, unfortunately. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, time will tell. Time will tell whether or not these matches are going to be close or not. So I think at this point we're just waiting for these guys to add up so we could get on their cams and excuse me, I'm yawning. So we can get on their cams and get this show on the road.
Remember that the winner of this qualifier gets an all expenses paid trip to the US, but also just want to give a quick shout out to the MGE League. We have a oh wow, well, that command doesn't work, but if you were to type MGE.TF, you would have been redirected to the MGE website. Just want to give a shout out to the 2v2 League. Sign-ups are open, whether you are in Europe, whether you are in Asia, whether you are in North America. You have your chance to play for a prize pool here in the MGE.TF 2v2 League. But hold on for just a second. There is a bit of disclaimer. Sign-ups end tomorrow, so head on over to MGE.TF, register your team. You don't have to be a great player at the game. You don't have to be the top of the top. You don't have to be up there with Manny or all those other players, or like Kobe or Yum Yum or X or Ty, whatever. You just got to be willing and able to participate, because there are divisions that cater to all skill levels in the TF2 scene. Just head on over to MGE.TF and you can play. And yeah.
Yeah, so signups do end tomorrow. If you want to create a team, if you have a duo that you have in mind, I think you can sign up for the 2v2. I think they still have that. I think it's just generally speaking, the signups are still ongoing. So if that is something you're interested in, I would recommend heading over to MGE.TF and checking it out. Because if you want to 1v1, you want to join the 1v1 league, just sign up right now. Just go ahead and throw yourself in there.
Hold up.
Just go ahead and do it.
Who do we got on screen? Who is that guy? We got the MGE bot? Who is this guy, bro?
Not the MGE bot.
First we had the MGE
Not
moderator.
the MGE bot.
We had the MGE moderator, and now we have the MGE bot?
Uh-oh.
What is going on?
Uh-oh. The MGE bot has an unfathomable aura that strikes fear into the hearts of those who are nearby. And unfortunately, X was the closest of anybody to the MGE bot. And that might cost him. The MGE bot, known to curse those who are nearby. Very, very much known to curse anybody who is nearby. So hopefully that doesn't affect X, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anything is possible.
Okay, we have the next maps. We have the matchup coming up next. It is going to be Alov and X, and we are going all soldier maps. It is going to be Node, Bad Spire, and then Badlands Mid. That's a bit of a lineup here.
Yeah, definitely a map lineup to be touting out for this game, but should be an interesting one nonetheless. Should be a fun matchup between these two teams, as I do believe we have gone live to it. So X and actually no, I'm confused. This is MGE bot fighting X here. I thought for a second we were going live because I saw the scores getting updated in the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, okay. But it's just the MGE bot harassing X here. He's just harassing X. Actually, I think it's the other way around. I think it's X harassing the bot.
Well, I wish we could do predictions, but I think these guys want to get this show on the road. So, any quick predictions from your end, Mr. Eki, before we head on into this match?
I think X takes it. I think they do. I think. Oh, excuse me, I had to yawn. Pardon me.
Oh, we're getting straight into the swing of things. Hurry up, make it quick.
Ooh. I think X takes it. I think it's going to be a very close match. I think it's going to be a rough start for X off rip, but I think he takes it. I think he takes it nonetheless, and it's going to be 1-1 here between X and Olive. Just a little bit of counter jumping happening between these two. Really nothing special going on. I mean, it's going to be soldiers with shotguns, so the hit scan is an option here. Olive is not running gunboats, as was seen with their bout against Klux. 3-2 in favor of X, now tied up at 3 apiece.
And remember, these guys are not yeah, like you said, there are shotguns into play here, and you know, X, one of the best soldiers in the European MGE scene. So I'm really curious to see how he fares against Olive. You know, if we look at the past MGE tournaments, we've seen a bit of flair from the European players like Yalen, Ryan, Fancy. KN's also a pretty good MGE player, but he hasn't been playing in the MGE tournaments. But now we have to see X, who has been murmured around the scene, but we have not seen or exposed him to the wider audience outside of the MGE community. We can finally see just what this guy is and why they talk him up so much.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be able to see it in full color here. 10-5 in favor of X right now. 4 kill streak with that shotgun, putting on a very dominant performance right now. A 7-point lead, 12-5 in favor of X here. Looking to make it 8, but could they do it? They will not be able to. It's going to be Olive finding their first pick in a little while. Now a second one. The snowball could be beginning here. And this is the peril of playing soldier v soldier. Once you die, it becomes very, very easy for the other soldier to kind of just stand there, be a stalwart, and make it very difficult for you to return. The snowball becomes infinitely easier, but X is still at a 4-point lead here as Olive is able to make it, that 4-point lead. They find themselves a pick, but X mops it back up, sets themselves up for a 5-point lead once more. 6 points now, 9-15 is the score. Does miss the air shot, will fall to Olive here, so it is 10-15. Still favoring X. Now 6 points again, 16-10. Getting juggled up to the high ground, can't quite land the air shot, Olive, and they will fall. 8-point lead here. X looking to take this one home, gets taken down. Nice rocket and to the quick switch from Olive here. Going to be able to find 2 in a row, but they're going to have to play essentially perfectly here if they want to win this first round. I don't think that's going to be able to be I don't think that's going to be able to happen.
The clean direct from X there, able to get the final blow onto that round, winning it 20-12, but there is still one more round to go, because remember, each map is a best of 3 in and of itself. It's a best of 3 of a best of 3, and X still needs one more before he can claim Node and we can head on to Spire. And I'm finally excited to know that we are seeing some guaranteed, signed, sealed, and delivered Spire action here in this tournament. Feels like we haven't seen it, and now we're finally getting to see it.
We haven't seen it at all. I don't even know if between any of the other competitors that it was even an option for map 3, because we know it was never an option for second map. But was it ever an option for map 3? No, I don't think it was until now, where it's guaranteed we see some Spire action. So, and not just Spire, but we go to Badlands mid if it ends up being an upset on Spire and the series gets tied 1-1. So we'll just have to wait and see if we end up getting 2 tried and true maps in the same series. Ooh, nice air shot. Oh my goodness, the juggle.
Man, X is coming out beasting in this freaking match. You know, I see what the hype's all about now. I see what it's all about. I'm gonna tell you that. But I feel a bit spoiled because, you know, when we watched that one tournament with Kobe in it, he was just blasting air shot after air shot. Didn't matter what opponent he was facing. But this time, I'm seeing a bit of a scrap fight here, and I'm loving it.
I love seeing these closer matches. It does often get a little bit more appealing than, wow. It is a bit more appealing than those blowouts like that one with Kobe where he made the opponent rage quit. Still replay that in my head every now and then, but can't reminisce on the past here. It's 5-14 in favor of X here. Now it's a 10-point lead as X gets another to set themselves to 15. Now 16. They're at an 11-point lead. Double air shot between the two. It's going to be Olive cutting the lead down to 10 once more. Now 9, getting back into the single digits. Playing on the high ground, both of these players just trying to trade spam with one another. They're going to be able to land the shotgun kill as X getting that lead back up to 10.
Wow.
Now up to 11 once more, playing very, very well. Nice rocket from X. They're going to be able to make it a 1-point game here. All they have to do is win this round, and they move on to the next map with a lead in the series. And they are doing everything they possibly can to just slowly encroach on Olive's territory. Playing a little bit further back now. Both players pretty low. X below 100, so too is Olive, and they're going to get juggled up into the air. The shotgun blast will take them down. And that will move us on to the second map. We're going to Spire, a tried and true titan of MGE.
We've been waiting for it. We're about to see it.
We've been waiting.
We're about to see it, baby. Let's go. I'm ready. Bring us some good Spire action. I want to see all the air shots. And hey, I gotta mention the lighting on this rework by the MGE crew is pretty good. I gotta say.
This is true. The lighting does look way better. The lighting looks significantly better, and not to keep bringing up the past or anything, but this is the map where Kobe delivered a clinic and made his opponent rage quit. So I'm not going to say history will repeat itself here in terms of the rage quit, but could we see a clinic get delivered from X as they delivered on Node?
Oh!
That is the question that remains to be answered, but right now they're playing very well here. Very nice, as these rockets are absolutely beautiful.
You know, there are some unwritten rules of MGE, but the rocket jump with the shotgun, shameless. Shame on these players. I
know that was an unwritten rule.
I knew it'd be scrappy, and I knew players were trying to win, but I guess we're leaving the unwritten rules.
If it's not a written rule, is it really a rule? That's the question. If it's not a written rule, regardless of the dishonor you bring to your family, regardless of the dishonor you bring to your family and your cow, does it really matter?
They say money reveals people's true colors, and I can see it being revealed right now, so to say. But hey, I mean, as long as we're hitting some air shots just like X did, right? Oh my god! Well then, you know.
Oh my!
I guess you can eat my
X,
words.
you can't be doing that, my man. Oh! All right, hold on. Olive might be in it still. He might still be in this one. He's just trying to force X off of that high ground where he's been so incredibly dominant. Scoreline 11-6 here in favor of X. Now 11-7. Olive is slowly clawing their way back in. My goodness.
You're not supposed to play in the fence like that,
X.
My gosh. Where's the manners?
Yeah, I mean, this is... There are no manners. I mean, honestly, if there were manners, it'd be boring. Unless it's manners like we saw between Olive and Clux, then those are good manners. But those are the entertaining manners. But good manners on Spire, come on now. We all know that's not happening. Come on, come on.
Never happening.
This is where boys become men on Badlands Spire. This is where you duel for all the marbles.
Man. But hey, I'm loving it. It's a lot closer than it was on Node. X was showing us pure dominance on Node, but now Olive has made it a little bit closer, but maybe I'm eating my words here because X is starting to pull away with this round, and maybe even the series at that.
Yeah, X does seem to be pulling away with this one. It is only the first round, but it leaves a lot to the imagination for how the rest of the game is going to go. Olive does come back up, getting themselves into the double digits here. They're at 11-17 still. So Olive has a lot of ground to make up if they want to come back. They will crater X up at 18-11 now, trying to play the fence here as best as they can. They will take down Olive. They're 1 point away from securing the first round of Spire. And with the jump up from Olive, they get juggled into the air. The shotgun blasts are too much for them to handle. And they'll get taken down. Olive wins the first round.
Man, Olive. Sorry to say it, you gotta play against a shotgun denier here. but at least Alov is going to start off this round on the right foot. Finally, he's found himself on a lead more than one. Maybe he can extend it to 3, manages to do so onto X. He's actually faring well, a lot better than he was so far to start off this game, and I think that's going to be good if we want to see a competitive match, because remember, we are in the upper bracket, you know, upper bracket round 2, so we got to see something else from Alov if he wants to bring it back and prove that he belongs at the top of EU MGE.TF 2, and maybe even potentially earning a trip to Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's an all-expenses paid trip to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where they will host the championships for this event. Olive coming out swinging, though, with the lead off rip. X has to claw their way back. They're at 3-6, now 4-6 as they find another pick. But slowly but surely, they are clawing their way back into it. Olive going to be able to find another pick there that sets them at 7-4. But immediately taken back again by X. It's been trade after trade here. X finds another. Should be able to jump up onto this fence here, but the shotgun is juggling them a little bit, but not enough damage is coming out. No rockets from Olive there, just the shotgun, and that ties up the score at 7-7.
Man, are we seeing this fence play from X? I mean, it's brought him back into the game, but I don't know. This is some impure TF2 play that I'm seeing right now from X. But I love you just gotta do him one better, you know? You gotta stoop low if you want to win the match. You gotta stoop to your opponent's
Gotta
level.
stoop low. Sometimes you gotta stoop even lower, although I don't really know what you would do to stoop lower than the fence play there, but I mean...
Well, I mean, if there wasn't a white list, I would have been running the reserve shooter by now, so...
Alright, you know what? Understandable, actually. You know, that's fair, that's fair. But Olive is still in the lead here with 11 points. Now it's all tied up as X. They're going to be able to find a pick. That'll be 11-11.
Oh,
Air shot by Olive here to get back into the lead. Juggling up X again. Takes him down once more. 13-11 here. Olive with a 3-point lead as they find the shotgun pick to make it 14-11. They could potentially pick themselves up around here and get themselves back in the fight. But if X is able to make their comeback, they will win Aspire, and we will have to move on to the next upper bracket matchup.
No, we need to see a little more Spire action. We need Alov to bring it back. We need those 3 kills so we can see one more round of Spire action. Alov has it in him, but he just needs to connect a few more shots and a few more rockets, and is managing to do so here, but between the two, they are 7 HP combined. Alov just needs to look for this rat hiding under the cellar, and does manage to find it. Sniffs out X and just needs one more to bring us to a 3rd round.
Yeah, Olive is trying to lock it in here and make sure that by all possible metrics, they can get themselves into that 3rd round. Juggles up X, but does not land the cleanup shotgun. Another juggle up. X is on 70 HP, now 40. The shotgun is doing a lot of hard work here, but Olive is at 80. One good blast is all it takes. 17-19. Olive is choking up right about now, but can they make a comeback? 18-19. 2 more picks for X is all it needs to get into the next round of the playoffs.
Here we go!
Oh,
Oh my god.
my goodness.
When the lights are on, Alov does not choke. Well, he almost choked there, but my goodness, we are on to a 3rd round of Spire. The lights were not too bright quite yet, and we still see some life in Alov, but he's got to do it all over one more time, but he's down 2-0.
Yeah, down 2-0 off rip. Not the most ideal, but you can claw your way back. Very small deficit to make up. They get 1, but they'll end up getting dropped down to a 2-round deficit once more. Finds another, though. Makes it another 1-round deficit.
Ooh, nice shot.
Good rockets being exchanged between these two, but...
Oh
my.
X is just so deadly with that shotgun, just really relying on it after hitting that one good rocket onto Alov. Seems to be favoring the shotgun in all these scenarios, and he's asking for Alov, come jump up, because I can just quickly deny you with the shotgun. And instead, Alov is not going to opt to do so, just going to kill bind, because he knows it's a losing game whichever way he goes.
Yeah, and I mean, we did see Olive get themselves into some good positions earlier. You have to try and force X down to the the ramp up, the spiral up to the top of Spire. And once you can do that, you have a good chance to try and get in onto the point, because then it becomes a situation where X has to counter jump you, and you can deny them with the shotgun. So it's a game of just trying to flip the advantages as much as possible here, and these guys are doing an exceptionally good job at doing this. X does get dropped down to the floor, still up by 5! They get the escape plan crit with the shotgun. Oh my.
It's like playing whack-a-mole here with wherever Aleph shows his head, he just gets immediately whacked down by X's shotgun. And, you know, I ain't gonna... It's clear that X's prowess is within the shotgun. Maybe he should have been playing Scout this whole time, but we're on Spire, so I guess there's no room for a Scout or player in this map.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no room to play Scout on Spire. This is... If anyone were to ever tell you there was an MGE map specifically for Soldier, Spire would be that map. I mean, it is just the Soldier MGE map, and there's no denying it. Scoreline is 14-6. X is in the lead with now 9 points. Does get jumped on from behind by Olive there, though. They get the downward direct right into the back of X's dome, so they will be able to get a pick there. 8-point deficit for Olive, though. They have a lot of ground to cover. X only has a little bit more. They need 5 more kills, and they will get themselves the win against Olive. They'll send Olive down into the lower bracket. But Olive is cutting down on the deficit. Good bomb in from X there to get the damage necessary to force a suicide from Olive there. But as it stands right now, X is still in the lead. Finds another pick. 3 kills away. 2 kills away. Denying with an air shot. 1 kill away, and X walks away victorious.
You gotta be kidding me with these shotgun denials. Where's the rocket air shots,
But
man?
Olive is here. Olive is here, and they have not backed down just yet, but the downward rocket is too much for Olive to come back from. I believe that should be it, as X has defeated Olive on Badlands Spire. They defeated them on Node, and try as they might, they are not successful in forcing that third round. Olive will go down to the lower bracket. X will advance, and we'll probably be covering that match first up tomorrow. But we still have one more game to cover after this. So
yeah, we got Thunder versus Mora up next. And Eki, you know, I'm a fan of high octane MGE gameplay, and I saw those shotgun denials, man. Obviously, we know what's being played for here. We know there's money on the line. But, man, that was a bit of... I expected air shots. I expected, you know, 1-2 punches with the quick shotgun, with the the air shot propping or juggling the player in the air, and then you quickly switch to the shotgun. But man, that was a disgusting display of MGE. This is crazy.
Right.
And obviously, we don't make the rules. We're just here to commentate the matches. We see what we see in front of us, and we speak about what's going on in front of us. And I'm speaking some truth, I feel like, right here.
yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the shotgun denial, but it's in the kit for a reason. I mean, Olive was also running the shotgun. Neither of them were really at a disadvantage there. They both could have done it to each other as much as, or for as long as they were on the height there. And it looked like X was just able to capitalize on it far, far more. And honestly speaking, I think X just, they played better than Olive there. It was a little bit closer in the Node games, I feel. Spire got a little bit more rolly, but I mean, X just played very, very well. And it sucks to see Olive go down into the lowers, but at least they're still in it. You know, they still have an opportunity to get back up there and win it. They have a redemption chance if they can claw their way through the lower bracket. But X is going to move on. They'll be waiting for their next opponent to show up, which will, I believe, come in tomorrow. We'll be going live at around the same time tomorrow. But that said, we still have a game to cover with Mora and Thunder. So whenever they're on the server, we can get that show on the road.
Wait a second. Okay, so we have Node, Flyover, and Bad's Med. Okay, we have not seen Flyover yet in this tournament, so we have a new map coming to us. And okay, I think we're gonna be seeing a Scout v Soldier matchup because Thunder, obviously playing against Spud, did run the shotgun. Soldier against Spud, and Mora playing against SNH did run the Scout. And we are gonna be on the same server, so not too much delay between the matches. We're going to be heading straight into this once these players are up and at it in the arenas. And Thunder already added up on the red side, waiting on Node for his opponent. And we should be going underway very soon.
For those of you trying to use the bracket command right now, it has not been updated for a little bit. We do not control that. We can't update it, so that's up to the MGE.TF folks to go ahead and get that updated. But as it stands right now, this is an upper bracket matchup between Mora and Thunder, who beat their opponents SNH and Spud respectively to make it into this second round of the upper bracket. We are live for the Thunder Moira, this is not Overwatch. We are here live for the Thunder and Mora match where it is 4-0, 5-0 in favor of Thunder immediately off rip. Soldier dominance getting shown through, but could finally be a pick in order for Mora as they find the first couple of meat shots that seal the deal and get themselves on the board.
You know, one thing that I want to mention is that, like, in the MGE tournament that we've seen over North America, there's been very few scouts playing. Because ideally, in an MG tournament, you're going to be mainly Soldier and you're going to be running shotgun. So playing as a scout, not only do you put yourself at an HP disadvantage, you also put yourself at a loadout disadvantage. And we can see the consequences of running scout versus Soldier here, and why there were so few scouts. I mean, I think the only scouts from the MGE tournament for the World Championship that made it far were Halu and Yum Yum. And it's just a testament to how good they are, and it just shows just how big of a struggle it is to play, specifically on Node. I mean, Node is just so hard to play on as a scout against a Soldier. Just so how hard it is for Mora to play against Thunder on this map.
Even if you can get control of the high ground as well, that Soldier can just, like, do a very low jump and contest you immediately. Doesn't even have to jump either. There are stairs that give him eye level to the ground with you, and he can spam you off of that high ground from far away. This is probably one of the fastest matches. Actually, this probably is the fastest match we've covered so far, as it's already 16-2, and Thunder is walking away with this round win. And from the looks of it, if this is the momentum they keep up, if Mora is unable to find themselves a snowball opportunity, to find themselves a chance at victory, this is going to be a fast series.
This will be a fast series indeed, but Mora is going to at least get a bit of warm-up here in a match, or in a set that is pretty much far gone from his claim to victory, so to say.
Ooh.
And going to be able to string together a few kills here, but this may be the end of Mora's kill streak. No, actually going to extend it just a little longer, and a good air deny onto that Soldier.
Oh my.
Closing the distance is now suddenly waking up, but it's just a bit, no, it's way too late, at least for that set. The first round gonna go to Thunder 20-7.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dominant showing right off rip from Thunder. Mora did wake up, but it was too little, too late. The melatonin wore off, but now they should be ready to go for these next couple of matches. It is 1-2 favoring Mora currently, so the Scout now finally in the lead as opposed to Thunder being in the lead. They'll knock Mora away, get themselves within one.
And, I mean, there was, like, if you watch those first few rounds, there's a bit of a strategy change. Instead of trying to take the 1v1 on the low ground where Thunder can actually just, like, splash rocket you and then shotgun you, Mora, your objective is to take the Spire, and then as Thunder is going to jump to try to close the distance on you, jump into his face, hit that 100 damage meat shot, and hope you can evade any further attacks to try to win the round, so.
The biggest thing for Mora here is trying to prevent Thunder from getting that high ground, being on the central point, this raised point. If he gets up there, you kind of just lose immediately. unless you can get some good movement, get a good meat shot that forces down Thunder, you really don't have a lot of options here. You have to take a very aggressive face tank into that soldier, and that's not something you want to have to do on Scout. But it's gonna be hard. It's not impossible, but it is gonna be hard. Thunder is up 5 just from having a good bout of time on the height. Now 4 points deficit, 3-point deficit, as Mora is able to find another pick. 2 points. They find a third. On the 3-kill streak, they find 1 pick for Thunder. That increases their lead back up to 4 now as they find a second. That's 2 in a row for Thunder. Looking for another. 3 in a row. Looking for a 4th. Could potentially find it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, like,
they've increased their lead back up to 6.
have you noticed, like,
now 7.
the start of this match, like, it was originally once Mora had a pretty good settling on the high ground, he's been able to, he was able to get up to an early lead, and then now, since Thunder has been able to reclaim the Spire, it's just been all Thunder from here, basically.
The Thunder is ringing out with these rockets being delivered onto Mora's head, and honestly, now they're actually kind of struggling because they can't get up onto this high ground. They've got to try and contest it some other way. They do manage to find their way up on top of it. Now they're taking the high ground fight up against Mora here, so they are in a pretty good position right about now. 70 HP, getting whittled down by the pistol. We'll have to jump back. Actually, no, that is the end of Node. They took the first round, and this is the second round of Node. So they have won the best of 3 on this map, and now we will move on to what is the next map? Flyover. I don't even know if I've ever heard of this map before. Oh, it's this map. Okay.
Wait, didn't we see this a bit earlier? Yeah, we did when we were doing our
yeah, this is where you tested the STV delay with me.
Yes, and it's gonna be making its debut. And one thing that I do want to mention is you just saw on your screen, you can shoot under the railing. So the high ground is not as safe as you would think it is. It's not a full solid Spire. You can be shot from down under, so gotta be careful about how you play that high ground.
Yeah, you're not in a terrible spot if you're on that high ground, but you are in a little bit of an unfortunate spot. You can shoot rockets from under it, and you will receive the splash damage if you are on top. But Mora seems to be playing this a little bit closer. 4-3 here is the score now. 4-4. Thunder's going to be able to tie it up with a shotgun pick. But this high ground now is going to be very, very strong for Thunder. This is a really difficult spot for the Scout to try and get into. You've got to try and surf off of a soldier rocket to even get up there, I think. I don't know if you can double jump up that. I think it's too high up. So this map definitely favors the soldiers far more. But if Mora can whittle down Thunder just enough, they will be able to throw everybody off. Or not throw everybody, but throw Thunder off the high ground there, and that's really the only opportunity you have to try and take a face tank fight with them. But you're gonna have to play back in pistol.
Just throwing out a storm of rockets onto Mora, and Mora is unable to evade the lightning strike. Unfortunately, I mean, look at this. Thunder is just. It's just so hard because you're starting from the low ground if you're Mora, and then you have to somehow find a way up the ramp. You can use a double jump to your advantage here as a Scout, but obviously using that double jump it restricts your movement. So it makes it easier for Thunder to land these rockets and then quickly swaps the shotgun and get the kills. And then you're seeing the consequences of how this map works against you when you are on the back foot as a Scout. And Thunder, like, Mora always starts off the map pretty close, and then once Thunder figures it out, settles into his groove, he's just moving on from there, and there's nothing really you can do to stop Thunder once he finds his groove.
Yeah, I mean, MGE is a lot of snowballing. It is very much about snowballing, and if you don't play this properly, you will probably not live to see the end of the map with a double-digit score. And now that probably isn't going to be the case with Mora. They are at 8. It is very easy for them to get a double-digit score here as long as they bide their time. Interesting that Thunder's not going for the taunting under mid, but I was going to say, interesting that they're not going for the splash through the grate there. Is 19-9 here, though. One more kill is all Thunder needs to try and get a first round win here, playing through the tunnel under mid. Mora chases, the greed consumes, and they will fall.
And now we finally see a class swap in this game. Mora is had enough. You know, this map is just, the low ground you start off from this map is just too much of a hassle to handle playing a scout. So Mora is going to switch into a soldier. I mean, Mora is not that comfortable on soldier, but that upward direct makes me think otherwise. But Thunder is just too good right now against Mora.
Yeah, Thunder is putting on a clinic right now. Mora's switching off of the scout there, and I feel like that's probably... I mean, evidently they are better at scout than they are their soldier, and they are struggling right now. Every time they try to counter jump that height, they are getting shotgun denied, similar to what we saw on Spire in the previous matchup here. And Thunder is just playing soldier the way you should be playing soldier, sitting on the high ground, not letting anybody jump you, denying anybody that tries to come into you. But wait a minute, Thunder has swapped to demo?
Yeah, I said enough of these if he's already going to BM with the shotgun denial, we might as well just put a little bit of pizzazz onto it. Gonna switch to soldier here, and maybe Mora can play off this cockiness. Maybe could pull it back, but it might be a bit of a bridge too far to handle.
Well, anything is possible. 4-11 currently, with Thunder in the lead, now on demo. Previously played soldier for the majority of this matchup between these two, but now switching to a different class. So too did Mora, playing scout for the majority of this matchup, but then swapped to soldier after they realized that the scout pick was just not working. Thunder on 7 HP, BMing, taunting right in front of Thunder. Really not much they can do, but taking the melee fight with each other here. Honorable take, but Thunder does win it. Up by 7, 6-13 in favor of Thunder.
Yeah,
they're just fighting each other from low to high. I mean, this is not the position you want to be in if you are the soldier. They win the melee duel there. They get the Minecraft pick, so Thunder will fall. Lead cut down to 6 once more, but actually that's going to be another pick for Mora. So lead cut down to 5. Missed air pipe opportunity. Not going to be able to find it. Bomb comes in. They're not going to be able to find any follow-up rockets, though.
Oh
my. Oh my.
Pipe. You know, I was going to say, I wonder, like, had we played on this map in a different scenario where the soldier could play it without the shotgun in this 1v1 scenario, I think that would have been, like, a little bit more even. I wonder how the match would have turned out in that scenario, because while, you know, you don't have the shotgun as a soldier, if you are able to get that kill on the scout and you are able to take high ground off of that, which on this map there's a lot of flat low ground, I wonder if that could have been less snowbally, so to say, in the soldier's favor. But Thunder is going to win this series, and we are done for the day, it seems.
Yeah. Thunder came in, put on a clinic, didn't lose really anything there. Mora just could not keep up. The soldier versus the scout, very heavily favored the soldier, and Mora just had a very difficult time trying to claw their way back in. I feel like a class swap was in order far earlier than it came out, but unfortunately for Mora, just did not pan out the way they were hoping for. But that is going to do it for the MGE coverage for today. Come back tomorrow, April 12th, at the same time. That'll be 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is when we will be going live once more. So if that interests you, tune in to watch the remainder of the bracket play out. I'm assuming we're going to be watching a lot of the lower bracket, as there is not much upper bracket left to get through. But I've been Eki with Sayo on CodeCast and also production. Oh, wait a minute, what?
We do have a quick advertisement to make. You know, there is a shot of maybe potentially getting a second European player to the land. So if you want to donate, go to the GoFundMe link. It's pinned. Yeah, it's only $87 on the way to $2,000, but maybe there's a whale out there that's watching the stream. But would you really want to send these shotgun deniers to land? Man, I don't know about that. But, you know, let my personal feelings aside. Yeah, that's the advertisement. Go check out the pin.
Yeah, check out the pin. Go to the GoFundMe and support the event. Currently, I must have like just been like advertised and put out there. But that said, it's possible to get a second European player out to the MGE land. So if that's something that interests you, please go ahead and donate if you are financially able. That said, now for real this time, that is it for the day. I've been Eki with Sayo on production and on the co-cast. We will see you tomorrow, April 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the continuation of this bracket.
Yes, thank you so much, Eki, for being my co-caster, and like, I will mirror his sentiment. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later for tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time, 19 CET, for the continuation of the MGE European Qualifier. Goodbye. We're off.